Hey there, folks. What's going on? This is Matt Bowman, and this is Matt Bowman is Bothered. And I just got to say, USA, USA, USA all day and forever. And by forever, I mean until at least Saturday morning. I'm recording this on Thursday, December the 1st. And as of right now, the United States are still actively in the World Cup. And we take on the Netherlands on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And boy, am I going to be drunk. No, I'm probably not going to be drunk. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat, just absolutely pissing myself with nervousness and anticipation. But yeah, the United States advanced out of our group. And boy, first of all, before I get into this, I'll say right off the top, then again, I don't know how many people. I know a couple people actually listen to this. I'm trying to make it more and more people. But I really apologize if you don't like sports, because that's one of the main things that I like, and I'm going to talk about it, as well as just the World Cup's going on, and that's a pretty big fucking deal. So, that being said, the United States is going to advance. They advanced. They beat Iran 1-0 at the end of the group stage. And man, was that just, was I shitting bricks the whole second half. Like, we go up 1-0 in the first half. Christian Pulisic gets his balls busted, quite literally. His injury was reported as a, quote, pelvic contusion. And I know that that's the medical term, but I would really like it if a doctor just came out and was like, yeah, he got hit in the nads. Just got popped in the penis. That would be a lot more fun than pelvic contusion. That sounds way worse and a little bit gayer. I don't know. So yeah, he scored, and then in the second half, boy, were we just... Man, the last 20 minutes was just stressful. Just got up and just started pacing. Dude, I was so into the game at the beginning of the game, alone in my apartment. I stood up and just sang the national anthem along with them. I haven't sang the national anthem in 15 years. I remember it. Like, I do the like every time if I want to be in marching band just to be the guy who goes during the national anthem. I want to be the cymbals guy who, that's got to be like the only shit that he does the whole day, is just go, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air. That guy rules. The rest of marching band, I think, is a little silly outside of the drum line, but that guy rules. I want to be the cymbals guy. So yeah, I was doing that in my apartment alone, and then just watched the game, and it was very enjoyable but super stressful at the same time. Got a little bit tipsy in the mid-afternoon on some Ronas, and so that was a good time. I had a really fun time, and I don't know what I'm going to do for Saturday, but it's going to be epic. I think there's a good chance that we advance. I think there's a really good chance that the United States advances. Well, I don't know. Maybe not a really good chance. The Dutch are really, really good, but if we beat the Dutch, we will most likely face Argentina in the second and in the quarterfinals. Most likely. Argentina plays Australia, and most likely Argentina is going to win. Most likely they will. Because they have the little Messi. That's my favorite. Every single soccer commentator just goes, Messi, goal. All of that malarkey. I don't know. I don't mind the South American commentators, but sometimes they are a little much. My opinion, I know I'm going to get destroyed for that one, but whatever. Yeah, the United States plays on Saturday, and I am pretty stoked. This was about as far as I thought that we would get. As long as we get out of the group, everything else is gravy. So I'm ready for some motherfucking gravy. You know? We got out of the group, we mashed up our taters, and now it's time to pour a boatload of gravy on top of that biznatch and beat the Dutch and advance to the quarterfinals. That would be super cool. I think the farthest we've ever made it was like back in 1930. We made like I think we got third place in like the 1930 World Cup or whatever, which I don't know if you noticed, but like up until about maybe 1980, maybe no, even later than that, like 1985, maybe even before 1990. Let's call it 1990. I don't know what happened in 1990, but it switched then, where up until 1990, if you scored a goal in soccer, the only celebration you could do was this. It was just a bunch of dudes. There was no creativity. They didn't do anything. Even if they ran around, they would run around and they would just go, ah, like just with their hands in the air. That's it. Or they would do like the jump and like with their legs at the same time. They were like fucking white girls on Instagram just trying to like time it like that. And then like in the 1990s, I don't know what happened, but probably like some Brazilian dudes were just like, hey, we're going to do something really cool. And then they like started doing like choreographed dances and shit like that. That's really cool. That's fun. But yeah, prior to 1990, it was just, yeah, I don't know why or what cultural shift took place to change that. Whatever. But yeah, we finished third in 1930. And so if we could it would be pretty dank if we got to the quarterfinals. That would be pretty cool. Because I think it's time. I think I'm definitely tired of foreign people. Full stop. I'm tired of foreign people. No, I am tired of foreigners and people from other countries just like talking incessant shit about the United States and our soccer team, football team. Eat a dick if you actually care what it's called. It's a sport. It doesn't matter. You guys are better than us generally for now, but only in dudes soccer, football, kick it with your feet, whatever. Only the dudes are better. Our women kick the shit out of every single country. It's like not even, if there's ever a tournament, it's not even a question of who is the favorite. It's the United States. So we have the ability, the resources, and the desire to kick all y'all's asses. And we demonstrate that every fucking 2 years in the Olympics. We consistently go and just ramrod everybody in the world in a bunch of bullshit random sports that no one actually cares about. And it's only a matter of time until we start doing that shit to y'all in the in soccer. I think the United States will win a World Cup in my lifetime. For a second there, I wasn't confident, but dude, these guys in this round, like I was not confident at all about the guys coming into this game, this tournament, but all of them are kicking ass. So yeah, I'm tired of the Brits just up on their fucking high horse, which is hilarious because they ain't won dick since 1966. Like the audacity of British, UK, England, I don't give a fuck, whatever amalgamation of a fucking country that you guys have over there. I'm tired of you guys just talking down to the United States when it comes to this sport, and y'all suck ass consistently. Like, it is out of the ordinary what's happened in the last two major tournaments. You guys making a semifinal in 18 and the final in the 2020 happened in 21 Euros. That's an outlier from everything else. I'm happy for you guys. I generally root for England, but boy, shut the fuck up with all of this other malarkey. I mean, you guys consistently underperformed. So for somebody who's talking a lot of heat, you guys have about as much to show for it as we do. So shut up. Just a thought. Where I do think that people can rightly criticize American soccer, football fans, not the fans. The fans themselves are great. If you want to criticize anything about America in terms of soccer, criticize the fucking commentators. The commentators are often, it seems like they're just dudes that they found. They were like, hey, can you hold a microphone? Yeah. Get in the fucking booth. I mean, this year, like, the case study for this, the prime example is fucking Alexi Lawless. I don't know a single person that likes that guy. quite honestly. I mean, he is such a punchline amongst me, my brother, anybody, and those are really the people. I like how I'm basing this off of just like 1 or 3 people. Are just like, well, me and my 4 friends don't like him, so everybody must not like him. But quite honest, I don't think that I've seen anybody who's ever just like, Alexi Lawless is my favorite guy. He's really cool. No, dude, Alexi Lawless sucks. He's just out here looking like Trump's backup attorney, and he has the worst takes ever. I feel like just deep down, Alexi Lawless just feels like he should be the manager of the U.S. men's national team, and every day that that's not the case, he just gets more and more annoyed and bitter, and it just manifests in him having terrible opinions about things. He also just doesn't know how to like read a room. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he thinks he's like Charles Barkley or Shaq, where he thinks he's going to be like I'm going to say something that's a really cool, funny soundbite, and the kids are going to love it on Twitter. Never fucking happens, dude. You sound moronic. He'd be on like the pregame coverage for this, especially in the run-up to the England or the Iran game, and he was just unbearable. Like, everybody else was like, yeah, we're really excited, we're going to go. And then he was like, this is the moment. This is your time. Timothy Weah, Weston McKennie, Serginho, this is time where you prove to the people. I'm just like, fucking cool it, dude. Sit down. It's fine. He's one of those people that it goes both ways. Like, if you ever met somebody that you just like find just so fucking funny that like anything that they do is funny. Like, they're so funny that like the way that they like open a door, you're kind of chuckling at. That's how I feel, but in the extreme negative about Alexi Lawless. Anything that guy does, I'm like, that's fucking annoying. Like, I just see him on screen, and I'm like, can I turn this off? And again, I haven't met anybody who's like, no, good guy. Well, maybe he's a good guy. That's fine. This isn't a judgment on his character. But I haven't met anybody who's like, you know who I really can't wait to hear from is Alexi Lawless. That guy, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about him, but if you want to attack the Americans for anything related to soccer, it should be that. It should be that the fucking commentators aren't that good. And like, we've got like, they have Landon Donovan and they have Clint Dempsey on a bunch of stuff. And yes, those were former players, and they are legends of the American game and the American men's national team. Not great personalities. They try. I'll give it to them. They're trying, and maybe I would suck ass at it too, but they're boring. Like, Landon Donovan is in the booth just talking like he does not want to be there. He just, like, his voice is just dripping with apathy. And maybe it's just because he wants to be out there or whatever it is, but man, it just feels like he's so disinterested with everything that's going on. But yeah, if you don't like soccer, or you've never watched it, or you find it gay, or whatever stupid things you're going to say about it, you should watch some of these World Cup games and tell me that you still think that. I don't know. Just as an American who, I mean, I love soccer and football, but like, American football is always going to be my number one sport. I live and die, and it affects my emotions in ways that I should probably see a therapist about. But soccer is a close second. So if you watch these, especially because sometimes it's annoying when like you're watching something and somebody's like way too into their team. Like, if I don't know, a lot of times it happens with colleges. Like, people like me, I'm way too into Ohio State football, and being in New York City, no one gives a shit. And that's, to a degree, I can understand how that's kind of annoying, but to see the passion that people have for like their country, that's where it gets super cool. And like, it's also that it only happens once every 4 years. That's why the World Cup is one of the most entertaining sporting events maybe that exists it means everything to these people. I think I might have talked about this before, but in the 18 World Cup, I think it was Panama. Panama was getting its ass handed to them by England. They were down 6-0. They get a penalty, or maybe it wasn't a penalty, but they score a goal in like the 88th minute. They've already been eliminated, but they scored their first goal at the World Cup. People were crying. They were just weeping in the stands because they scored a goal in the World Cup, and that's how much this means to them. And how do you not fucking watch something like that? It's so cool. I'm recording this on a Thursday. Yesterday, the matches were being played at the same time, and it came down to Mexico was playing Saudi Arabia, and Poland was playing Argentina, and Poland was down 2-0 and Mexico was up 2-0. And so, like, if a goal was scored in either of those matches, it meant that either Poland went through or that Mexico went through. And, like, the games are going on simultaneously, and it is just, the tension is palpable, my friend. It's so fun. You gotta go check it out. Gotta watch if you haven't already. So yeah, those are, do I have anything else on the World Cup? I don't think so. Looks like I'm about to be joined by my best boy, Rooney, if he decides to jump up here. Hey, bud. You can come up here if you want. Hey, good boy. How are you? Yeah, sometimes Rooney just likes to come up here and just chill. But he's going to join the podcast here. Yeah, it is. So it's December. December 1st, baby. It is, in my head, it's winter. Yeah, it's December. December 1st. And that means to me, that means it's winter. The start of winter is December 1st. Now, but if you're somebody that is like, well, actually, winter doesn't start until December 21st, and that is the winter solstice. Shut up. Anyone who says that isn't allowed to wear a coat until December 21st. Well, it's not actually winter until... Oh, yeah? Well, it's cold as shit. So what season... What is that? Is it fall still? No, it's not. It's cold as hell. There's no leaves on the trees, and Santa is hard at work. That means it's fucking winter, dude. Keep that fucking amateur astrology shit to yourself. Anyone who's like, oh, it doesn't officially start until December 20. That's just someone who is trying too hard to contribute to a conversation. To me, that gives off the same energy as somebody who, or like if you ever been on like a Zoom meeting and it's like wrapping up and somebody just realizes that they haven't said shit for the entire meeting, and so they just throw in something at the end of just like, well, actually, I was thinking about it. Shut up, dude. Let us go. You didn't contribute anything, and now you're just trying to remind people that you exist. Shut up. I feel the same way about the people that, well, actually, it doesn't start until the 21st. Flick my ass, dude. It's cold, and it's dark at 4:15. Sounds like winter to me, dude. It's winter. Whatever. And then, like, so when does winter end? These people probably would say that winter doesn't end until March. It's like, no, dude. Winter is like, I would consider even November. Anything after Thanksgiving is winter. Boom. There we go. I was about to say some part of anything after Thanksgiving is winter. Anything before Thanksgiving is fall. How's that? I think that's fair. Try to be fair and equitable. I try to look at everything. Try to take in everything from all sides, and I think, yeah, anything after Thanksgiving is winter. Anything before Thanksgiving is fall. It's my opinion. So yeah, it's cold. It's windy. Went on a run today. Boy, were my hands chapped. I need to get a pair of gloves to take care of that shit. It's really cold outside. Man, I gotta be honest. I am kind of struggling right now. Rooney is just walking around perilously. Oh my God, I just had a stroke. Rooney is walking around and is coming oh my God, perilously. If you're listening to this, tell me. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Perilously. There we go. Fucking nailed it, dude. 17th tries the charm. I am actively having a stroke. I'm struggling because Rooney is walking around and he's walking perilously close to the camera. And he's been known to knock the camera over before. And you know what? That done pissed me off when he does that. So forgive me if my eyes are wandering. Let's check in on the Germany-Costa Rica game. Is it back on in the second half? It's about to be. Oh, it's going. And Germany are still leading 1-0 over Costa Rica. What are the other scores? World Cup scores. Hey, Rooney. Oh, and Japan have equalized against Spain. When did Japan equalize? Dude, this is why this sport fucking rules, dude. Like, because just everything is on the line for these guys. It means so fucking much. Especially for, like, a smaller nation like Japan. Oh my God, Japan took the lead. Holy shit. Japan are now up. Spain was up 1-0 at halftime, and Japan's now up 2-1. Holy shit. Can Spain get knocked out? Oh my God, this is going to be one of the most haphazard. Okay, no, so Spain's currently through. Spain's through on 5 points right now. Wait, hold on. So then I don't know why are they so... Oh, Spain are through almost no matter what, because Germany's winning, and that's the most that they can do. Unless Germany wins 8-0 over Costa Rica, Spain's through. So fucking cheer up, Spain. You're going to be fine. Cheer up, Charlie. And this time it's cheer up, España. This episode is off the motherfucking rails, dude. What a weird episode. But that's okay. I'm trying to do new stuff. Trying to put shit out there. I had a cool video idea. Well, it's actually a video idea that we did back in we never made the video, but it was something we talked about a lot back in college, doing like little like 30-second videos of like literal movie titles. I think that would be really that's kind of funny. Where like an example would be like it would just take like Silence of the Lambs, and it would just be like two dudes that are just sitting there in like lamb costumes, and then like one of them like starts to speak and the other one's like shh, shut up. I don't know. It's very silly and very stupid, and it would probably be funnier just on screen as opposed to me describing it, but I think it's a fun idea. So yeah, that's what I got. Good God, I cannot believe that Japan are up 2-1 on Spain. These fucking guys. Damn. Way to go. Way to go. Spain look really good. So if there's any way that they could get knocked, they're not going to get knocked out right now, but if they could, that would be the tits. All right. Let's try to talk about something that's not sports related and then get out of here. Maybe a short episode today. Yeah, so I've lived here in New York City. Pardon. Lived here for, what is it now? For 3.5 years, 3 years, something like that. And it is alarming how, like, it's alarming what doesn't faze me now, having lived in the city for just 3.5 years. Like, when there are it's not all the time. Like it's not as fucking annoying and crazy as when your parents are like, do you live in New York? Yeah. Is it safe there? It's like, yeah, dude. Pretty much. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I live in New York City, like not downtown Beirut. I don't live in Kiev. There's not a fucking army. There's not tanks. There's some fucking weirdos every now and then. But, like, it's not a fucking hellscape. Is crime on the rise? Sure. But it's not crazy. I don't know. So, yeah. But also, there's so many people and so much randomness and so much weirdness and just overall, like, what? That you eventually kind of just don't worry about it. You kind of just keep going. You just walk and go straight, and just whatever happens behind you is fucking behind you's problem. That's kind of how it is. You don't really stop to observe shit or, like, get involved in anything. I don't know. It's just, I shock myself with what I am unfazed by now. Like, the other night, I got on the train, and there was just some lady laying on the ground. She was just curled up in a ball, and she didn't look that homeless. She just, like, she had, like, a nice pea coat and pants and Nike shoes on, and she was just laying on the ground. And I walked in there, saw that, and was like, oh, and kept going. I think that would be crazy in, like, I'm from Westchester, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. If you walked into a suburban Applebee's and there was just a woman laying face down on the floor in the corner, you would call the police. Somebody else actually would have called the police already. There'd be 15 police cars there trying to figure out what's wrong with this woman. Not here, dude. Not here. I walked, like, and, like, everybody that kind of walked, I kind of watched everybody as they got in the train, and everybody kind of just, like, looked over and then just sat down. That was it. Nobody went over and was like, is she dead? She didn't look like she moved eventually. She moved eventually, but she could have been dead. And me, as well as everybody else in that train car, were just like, I guess she can deal with it. I guess I'm riding with a dead body today. That was kind of everyone's vibe. And I don't know if that's good, but it is what it is. I'm not here to make a moral judgment on it, but it is what it. These are the facts of the case, and they are irrefutable. A few good men. But yeah, dude, another time I saw a woman strip naked on the subway platform while talking about the stock market. I mean, she actually had some pretty good insights, but that was an interesting thing to see. You're just standing there waiting for the F train, and then just out of nowhere, you just see, like, homeless lady cheeks. That's all. And then, like, you don't want to stare, because if you stare for too long, then, like, they see you, they will come for you. Like, you're the bozo. Like, you're the weird one. And so this lady just, like, starts taking off her clothes. I don't even know what her plan was. She doesn't have one, clearly. She just started taking it off and eventually got to where there was nothing on. And then she just kept talking that's kind of what she did. It was pretty cool. But again, just kind of head down and just, you kind of, like, keep your head down, but then, like, do one of these where you're, like, looking out of the side of and then you look right back down, and then you look over, and then you look right back down. That's kind of how it is. Because you don't want to draw too much attention to the fact that you're paying attention. That's rule number one. Another time, I saw just, like, a business guy. This was in the park. This is in a public park at noon on a Tuesday. There was just a businessman. He walked up, sat down next to a homeless guy on a park bench, and they both smoked crack together. Now, that's fun. Drugs are wild like that. Like, this is a guy, there's the one guy who is clearly, like, this has ruined his life. And then the other guy who's just like, this is fucking cool. And those are the two sides of drugs, where it's just, like, people that are debilitatingly addicted, and then other people that are just like, no, this is pretty cool shit, dude. Then another time I was on the train again, and this guy gets on, and the doors are closing behind him, and he tries to spit, but the doors close, and so his spit gets on the door, and then to everyone and no one just says, just like I told the officer, that's not my DNA. Whoa. I'm going out on a limb. I bet it was his DNA. I don't know the context, but that's a terrifying sentence. I don't know, man. I feel like at this point, if I don't know what I would do to actually have a reaction to something. Like, if I walked into a subway train and someone was on fire, I would probably just change cars. That's about, like, I'm not gonna, like, what? What? I don't, you just see the most random, weirdest shit you've ever conceived of in your life. And it's pretty cool. You know? I think there's a rule that somebody did like an experiment, like if you were just like on the street and somebody screamed randomly, the girl who did the video was just like, anybody who looked at me isn't a real New Yorker. And that's kind of true, where you just kind of, you don't really give a fuck about most things. You kind of just keep going. That's why I saw, there was a sign when I first moved here. So again, this is like 3 years ago, where it was like a Subway ad, and it just said, like, New Yorkers aren't afraid to tell you how they feel. It was like an HR fucking thing, basically being like, why would your HR department... I don't know what it was, but the sign said, like, New Yorkers aren't afraid to tell you how they feel. And it's like, I fucking beg to differ, dude. Like, yeah, if you hit me or are about to hit me with your car... yeah, I might be like, hey, man, fucking watch it, asshole. But for the most part, nobody says shit. I don't know where this idea that, like, New Yorkers are just, like, they always are just, like, speaking their mind and say, hey, I'm walking here. No. They're walking here, but silently suffering, not getting in the mix of fucking anybody else. That's not what's happening. Like, I don't know, for people that aren't afraid to tell you how they feel, there certainly are a lot of people jacking off on the subway. That seems like something that you would want to address. And honestly, by not addressing it, you're kind of passively condoning it and kind of being like, yeah, that... I mean, like, from the weirdo's perspective, it's kind of like, well, I guess this is allowed. No one's... I wish someone would speak their mind about this. Nobody fucking does. I don't know. The subway's a weird place. Sometimes some people people feel weird about, like, eating or drinking on the subway. Some people feel about like that because like people talk about the subway like it's a bathroom, which sometimes it is. It's probably more disgusting than a bathroom. But yeah, people are weird about, like, eating or drinking on the subway. And I generally try not to, but I've eaten on the subway. Like, one time I was waiting, I had, like, a bag of Doritos or Cheetos or something, and I was eating them on the subway, which I was like, fine, I don't care, it doesn't matter. But then I got to the end, and there's, like, the cheese dust all over my fingers, and so I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't want to be the guy that's eating... I don't want to lick my fingers on the subway. That's a dumb idea. I don't want to look fucking psychotic. And so I was like, oh, I have a great idea. I'll just change cars so that these people don't see me lick my fingers. Perfect. Train comes to the next stop. I get off. I get onto another car. I sit down. I go to fucking lick my fingers... But then I'm like, wait, now these people don't even know that I was eating Cheetos. So now I'm just some guy that gets on the train and just starts licking his fingers. A homeless guy came up to me and was like, hey, man, that's fucking weird. Can you cool it? And I was like, yeah, thanks for speaking your mind. I don't know. I don't know what compelled me to think that was a good idea, but that was my thought process, and it did not dawn on me until I got into the new car and was about to literally put my fingers in my mouth that I realized that was a stupid idea and that I would just look absolutely batshit crazy. But again, no one would be fazed. I just have, like, I don't know, I have a fantasy, like, that one day, because there are just some times where there's just like homeless people or just crazy people, potentially just crazy people in general, just on the train, and they will just like be screaming about something or like talking very loudly to themselves about something, and nobody's stopping them. No one's like, hey man, can you please shut the fuck up? Like, nobody ever does any of that. And so I'm very... I would love to do a social experiment, because it's just like the thin dividing line between like sanity and fucking crazy is so thin sometimes. Like, the only thing that's stopping it is each individual person's very fragile self-control. That's it. And when you really think about that, that's terrifying. Like, there have been times where I've been stuck on the train. Like, it'll be like July, it'll be 95 and humid out, and you'll be on the train and it'll get stuck between stops. You're shoulder to shoulder, fucking rush hour traffic. And there have been times where I'm just standing there and I'm like, there is literally nothing stopping me from just screaming. Like, if I just started screaming, and just acting crazy, nobody would say... In fact, not only would nobody say anything, I think people would just start slowly moving away from me, which is ultimately what I would want, but I just don't have it in me to do that. Kind of like, I don't know, like long-distance runners, like people that like run marathons. Maybe not like the really good guys, but like long-distance runners will just like piss themselves while they're running. I don't know how you do that. But actually, it's just a little fucking mental barrier, because that's all it is. To just piss, like, you used to piss yourself all the time, but now you're just like, I can't because of whatever, because you like your pants. But if you were just, I don't know, I think it would be a lot to get over that hump, and that's really that little hump of just like, oh, I don't think I can do it. That's what keeps society going. And when you really think about it, that's terrifying. That, like, everybody you know is like a 0.5 seconds away from just fucking shit up. And that's kind of cool, actually. I'm shocked that more people aren't just like teetering on the edge of mental insanity. Just, I mean, if you're not right on the edge of, like, if shit didn't really go your way for like a week and a half and from completely falling apart, what are you doing? What, do you got your life completely together? Fucking nerd. Be like the rest of us and at times just lose complete control of your life for once. I think we would all enjoy that. I don't know. I think that, yeah, that's wild. Score update. Shut the fuck up! Costa Rica have scored 2. Holy shit! Now Spain and Germany are going out. Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. So at halftime, Spain was up 1-0 on Japan. Germany was up 1-0 on Costa Rica. Costa Rica have now scored 2 goals in a row and are now up 2-1 over Germany. And Japan have scored 2 in a row against Spain and are now up 2-1. And as it stands, Costa Rica and Japan are going through, and Germany just scored. 2-2. Holy shit. This is fucking wild. Now they're being little stupid bitches where, like, soccer players are so insane. But I think that goal doesn't change anything. I think Germany still need to win to get back in. They absolutely do, because coming into this game, they only have 1 point. This is fucking wild. I may just end this episode early and just fucking watch the rest of these games, because this is just too fucking buck wild. I love the World Cup. Go watch the World Cup. It's so cool and so fun. The United States plays at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, fucking 7 a.m. Pacific, which, boy, does the West Coast just get the shaft on every single sporting event ever. That's one, honestly, top two reasons why I don't want to live out west is I love sports so much, but I don't want to get up at literally 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes to watch a sporting event like soccer or like a Formula One race. I don't want to do that. That sounds redonkulous. So yeah, I think I am going to. I'm going to end it there. It's probably going to be. This is definitely going to be a short episode because I got to cut some shit out in the middle. But yeah, as always, please rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Listen to me, review me on Spotify as well, and then on socials at Matt Bowman Comedy on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Please go subscribe on YouTube. That's the thing that I'm really trying to push, as well as Bat Moment on Twitter. So yeah. Thanks, everybody. This has been another episode of Matt Bowman is Bothered. So stay bothered, folks, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.